Did you miss me? Hi, I'm Chevy Rell. If you haven't been here before or you're interested in seeing a little introduction, go check out my introduction video. There should be like a little eye or something somewhere in there. You can check that out, and if you're just here for the stuff, let's get started. I almost did not have any finished objects this podcast, whatever. I don't even know how long ago it's been since I recorded. Fuzz. I was watching the Wool Needles Hands podcast, and Taylor made this kick-ass huge cowl from a single ply yarn that she got at Joann's by Wool and the Gang. I believe she said it's only carried by Joann's. They were having a yarn sale, so the only colors that were left were black, which, as you can see, I have plenty of black everything. So, and hot pink, which I love hot pink a whole bunch, but I didn't want that in a cowl. I wanted a natural color. And then I found Red Heart. I know.
Dun, dun, dun.
I too cringe a little on the inside when I hear Red Heart. When I think of Red Heart, I think of the old worsted weight plastic feeling acrylic yarn that my grandma used to make her granny square blankets with. She'd ask you if you were cold and you wanted a blanket, and she would give you this granny square blanket with tons of holes in it, and it was that scratchy, yeah, that's what I think of when I think of Red Heart. However, they have an extremely super chunky yarn called Irresistible, which is 90% acrylic and 10% wool. It's a 2-ply, and you guys, right? It is awesome. So I can pull it down like that if I'm cold, which my back gets really cold at work because my office, the window is behind me. So on really cold days, that's where it goes. But, oh my gosh. I mean, Dan makes total fun of me for this, but I don't care. So if you put your coat on over it, it's perfect. It was, pause while I choke myself with my new cowl. I was pumping gas the other day with this. It is bulletproof. Everybody else was freezing. We were in the middle of like a ice storm, and I'm out here, and totally, it was amazing. It was just flat out amazing. So you can pull it down and button up so that it's down here. The other way, I've tried all sorts of different ways to wear it. You can do this and close your coat up around it. It's awesome. I love it. It's one of my new favorite things. Regarding the pattern, completely totally made it up. I have no idea. It's a 1x1 rib. I don't know how many I cast on. I think I used size 17 needles. I had to be very conscious of staying loose because the first few rows I felt like I had eagle claws and my hands hurt. If you want to know how many I cast on, I'll tell you, but I don't know. Maybe that's something I should have figured out before I told you about it. But if you want to know, message me and I'll tell you. I'll count it up. Next is whips. Let's see. I have an entire chair of things over here. For some reason, I have decided to cast on
All of the things.
I am currently on, I am currently on square number 11 of my crochet blanket, which is this one. And I just have a little bitty baby start. Baby start. I almost forgot, I have 3 squares done on my crochet blanket since the last time I recorded, which I guess is considered an FO, but I'm putting it in the whips since it's a whip, right?
This one, and this one.
Ta-da! Next up is my Brainless Socks by Yarnissma, Yarnissma. They look like this. Wait, yeah. They're like upside down or something, like weirds me out. Okay, so the last time, well, I have a stitch marker. Look at me go. I have a progress keeper, like a real podcaster, which, mind you, I did completely on accident. So this is where I was the last time. I have started, let's see, the heel gusset, which is a very interesting construction. Oh, and I suppose that I should say, I have no idea where some of my needles have come from. I think these are Knit Picks carbons. In all honesty, they're not a fave. I don't like the join get snagged and I have to fight it, but I'm knitting these currently on US 1s, I'm guessing. Yeah, 1s. I am an extremely tight knitter. It's super hard for me to get gauge basically on anything. I will knit, I usually go up 2 needle sizes on almost everything I do. I used to knit my socks on 2s. I have loosened up a little bit. I have gone down to 1s, sometimes 0s, but 0s are sort of not pleasurable to knit. I don't know how many stitches per inch I normally get. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm getting 8 stitches per inch on US size 1s. For all of you who don't follow me on Instagram or know, I have an inch tattoo and it is the most useful thing. I use it all the time for so many things, not just knitting. Of course, a lot of it is with knitting, but it is the most useful tattoo ever. This next whip, I have a love-hate relationship with. It has been in hibernation for quite a long time. I don't remember how long. I would have to go back. Oh, pause. What I'm wearing, this is the, I don't know if you can see it. There you go. This is the Graham hat by, shoot, I want to say Jennifer Adams, and that might not be right. Jennifer, God, sorry, it'll be in the notes. You know me, I'm real laid back, but I'll get it right in the notes. And if I ever don't put something in the notes that I talk about, or if I mess something up, let me know, I'll fix it. I try to be because I use people's show notes. When they're talking about something, I will go there and follow their links to their Etsy shops or their patterns, so that's something that I use. I do not use project pages. I don't do my own project pages. I know some of you like that. My friend Diana loves them and I am terrible at it. Everything I do is on Instagram. And if you can't find the information there or in the show notes, feel free to shoot me a message on Ravelry or Instagram and I'll get you whatever information I messed up and I'll correct it or whatever. So just let me know. Back to this whip that I have a love-hate relationship with. It was in hibernation for a very long time. I picked it back up and it was immediately within 1 round back into the fuck you category. I fixed it and now I'm kind of in a you're all right for now until I get into the next lace pattern. It is my Oracle shawl. Now, this is by Kristen from Vine Oracle. As you can see, I have had this I've been working on it for a while. but I am doing her full pie. She has since come out with a half pie, which I probably would have chosen to do first had it come out first, because I love a half pie shawl. This is where I'm at. I am currently on this brioche section. So let me tell you. I had this brioche section, which I think is about the same, maybe a little shorter, but of course I've increased so there's more stitches, as this. I had the entire thing done, started the next lace section. It was completely fucked up, completely. I don't know what I did. I mean, and if you follow me on Instagram, you also saw me in this section. I messed something up and had to drop way back down, and it got a ton of comments like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing that. It's like, dude, I have this much done on it. The Stitch Mistress, Sharon, from the Knit Style podcast, and she is also the dyer of Knit Style Yarn. If you don't watch her and her husband Rich, he's AKA the Yarn Boy. He is very into Instagram, so you may have seen him there. If you don't watch their podcasts, I highly suggest you go. She dyed this yarn, and this is actually what do they call it? Like a kit that she dyed. She knit this same shawl in these exact same colors. I do believe that I switched up the order. I completely copied her and did the umbilical cord cast on. Isn't it funny? As far as the colorways go, I know the names because I looked it up on my past order, but I have no idea what's what. So if you like any of these, you will have to order them through her. But one of them is called Witching Hour, one of them is called Wicked Brew, and one of them is called Pretty Poison. I do have her single base. It's amazing and I love it. I will say that all was not lost when I goofed this up so bad and I had to rip it all out, because this lace section is supposed to be black and either green or the cream, the speckly one. But I ran out of the black. This is how much black I have left after I pulled it out. So I had to rearrange the colors as per the way Kristen wrote it up in the pattern. I'm guessing it's not going to work, but in a perfect world, this would be enough to do the, I think it's an I-cord cast off, bind off, whatever, to finish it, which is, I could be wrong, but I'm hoping that this is enough for that, but your guess is as good as mine, we'll see. I am currently rocking away on this, and the verdict's out on whether I get up there and the lace will be messed up again. It might be back on Fuck You Island if I get to there, but I'll keep you posted. This project is also in my Kiku Designs Bag, I think you say. It is a super tough, not tough, like, it's totally my stand-in for the field bag. I am usually not a bandwagon person. I know everybody jumped on the Oracle bandwagon. Typically, I do not do that. I didn't do the fade. Everybody did the fade, didn't do the fade. Like, all those things I typically don't do. I was in love with the Oracle shawl, so I totally jumped on it. Then everyone has these field bags, which they all say is totally worth the price. Totally worth the price. I've seen them in person. They're nice bags. I love that sturdy canvas, but I could not see spending that much money, at least at this point in my world. So I looked for alternatives. You guys, this bag is awesome. And I have seen, I mean, I've seen the lining of the fringe bag. Am I even saying that right? You know what I'm talking about though, right? And I'm not totally in love with them. The Kiku bag, oh. The Goblin King, of course, has to make an appearance, right? My friend Diana got me that. Okay, the inside of this there's a little pocket in there. It's lined great. I love her glittery pink leather handle. And then her little label is super cute. Kiku, it'll be linked. My next whip is called the Marauder's hat. I could totally be botching that, I don't know. But it is by my friend Diana. It's a free pattern. It's her first pattern. As soon as she showed me last week at knitting, I had to cast one on because I loved it a whole bunch. So this is mine. The color's getting like super blown out tonight, sorry. I record at night because I'm a night owl. Okay, so it fits awesome. This is a Knit Picks Wool of the Andes tweed in the like Thirst Heather, I think is what it's called. And then this is a Mineville, which the color looks terrible. I don't know what else to do. The cut there, that's a little better, I guess. This is the Mineville Wool Project in the DK. Absolutely no idea what color it is at all. Next whip. This is in, I'm not good at the whole bag thing, sorry. But isn't this bag cute? It tucks in like that, and you can open it, and it's drawstring. And it is by Cat in the Bag. I actually won this, you guys. The Grocery Girls had a giveaway, and you know, well, actually, no, what did I do? I think I knit something for it. I don't know. I won one of their giveaways, and you know there's like 5,000 people in those threads, so the fact that I won it, I was like jumping up and down, squealing like a pig. But this was in that giveaway. This, I'm knitting for my cousin. She picked the yarn and she picked the pattern. She is more of a scarf person than a shawl person. This is pashmina. You can see I already messed it up. I need to tink back and fix that. But the reason that I haven't done it yet, while this is super cool, it's the Mistake rib scarf or mistaken rib scarf, and I think it's Pearl Soho. I'm pretty sure it's Pearl Soho. It'll be linked. I want to gouge my eyes out. The yarn is awesome. It is so boring, and I feel like I have knit on it for hours and hours and hours, and I'm this far. So I'm going to call my cousin Jackie and ask her if her heart was completely set on it. I will so totally do it. I get a little angsty thinking about having to knit on it. And we all know life's too short to knit shit we don't want to knit. So you might not ever see that again. I don't know. I'll keep you posted. This next whip is also for my cousin Jackie, but it's for her dog, Shiloh, aka Vader, and she's this 8-pound little wiry-haired white terrier ball of cuteness, and she has a wardrobe and wears bunches of sweaters. So I'm making her the Barkley sweater by Luciana Young, free pattern. The Oracle's a paid-for pattern. I don't know if I said the Marauder's hat's free. That Mistake Rip, that Pearl Soho scarf is free. Sorry, I'm all over the place today. This is where I am at currently. I have no idea what this yarn is. I totally scrap dove in my stash. I do know that this pink is an acrylic from a commission I did many years ago now. I made a squid for a little girl and it was so cute. And then this purple, I I should remember what this purple's from. It's like an eggplanty purple that is probably getting extremely blown out on that. There, you can see it better. I've already woven in all the ends, and all I have left to do is the border down here. Another thing I won. Sometimes I'm lucky, yo.
I am so thirsty. How did I not bring a drink?
I swear this is the podcast of tangents. No alcoholic beverages this evening. I've had way too many martinis this week. Okay. Where was I? Oh, I remember. I won this giveaway from the Naughty Nitwits, who I love, and I wish they didn't live on the other side of the continent because I want to be their friends in real life. And in that was a ball sack. Side note, another tangent. Did you guys watch Grocery Girl's live episode? When Jody said scrotum, I about choked on my coffee. It was so funny. I was not expecting her to say scrotum. Back to my ball sack. This is by Steel City Stitcher. And it's meant to just hold a ball of yarn, and it has 2 snaps. Well, I typically have a center pull ball, so my ball doesn't like flop all around. I'm like, well, if I just have one ball, I usually just have it in my project bag, so I really didn't know how I would utilize this. Dude, I found it. I found the way. It is perfect for when you are knitting 2 strands together. Then they don't get all messed around, like they don't get all whopper jawed, because you can put them right in there side by side, pull the strands up through the 2 snaps. Ta-da! It's working perfect. It also came with a little stitch marker of a cactus. Isn't it cute? And I kill all things. I think I mentioned in one of my other videos, I think my intro video, that I have a complete black thumb, but I can keep succulents alive. So the cacti variety is semi-safe in this household. That's it for my whips, guys. On to viewer question. And I am going to go back to, where did it go? I am going to go back to my Marauders hat by Diana. And if you see on her pattern, wherever that may be, good grief, I am a hot mess. If you see from her pattern, she has a fur pom. I have never had one of these. I know nothing about them. So my viewer question to you is, how do you shop for them? What is your favorite place to buy Faux Dead Thing pom-poms? Because I know nothing about them. I know there's umpteen different ways to attach them. I don't know. Are they all created equal? Are they all the same? Like, are some more dense? I know that you can buy them in different sizes. I'm thinking, since the brim of my hat is a little, it's not really turquoisey, I don't know. It'd be cool if I could get some colored one. I don't know. You guys tell me, where's your favorite place to buy the pom-poms? I would prefer Faux Dead Things. I want to know what your favorite size is, what your favorite way to attach them are. Like, tell me all of your things so that it will help me in finding a pom-pom for my hat. So that's the viewer question. Enabling is next, you guys. I am so excited. First off, this is from many Christmases ago, I think. Many, like 2. So not many. That is not the definition of many. I got the drop cloth sampler. Cannot wait to do it. I have no idea how to embroider. I do believe I tried a French knot one time in the history of my being on this earth, and it did not end well, and I gave up. So this will be a whole new experience for me. The kit comes with the cloth that looks like this. She has, let me see, what's the gal's name? Pardon me while I read the instructions. Rebecca Ringquist. She has an entire workshop on this embroidery sampler on creativebug.com. I do know that you can have like a 2-week trial membership, and then I think it's like $5 a month. That wasn't even the enabling part. However, I bet I've enabled some of you to buy this. I'm really excited about it. The enabling part is my lap stand. So this is not the best setup because I feel like I'm right on top of the camera, but you sit on this. So you put this like under your person. And then, so this, actually, let me see if I can, that's kind of, oh, see my ugly light? That's what's backlighting the, yeah.
Yeah, I'm real good at this.
Anyway, you sit like this. I am a top bottom person, so you can pull it and pull it and pull it and pull it. So while you're watching television or whatever, it can be up and it moves around and the whole, yeah. Also, my needle minder is pretty snazzy. Check her out. That was all I had for enabling of the things. But this is going to be enabling of podcasts. Because I've recently started this podcast, I also felt like I wanted to watch some new podcasts. I have watched many podcasters for years. When I first started watching podcasts, the very first podcast I ever found was the Knit Girls, and I think they were on their 3rd episode. They've been doing it for like 8 years now. I thought that I would tell you some cool new to me podcasts I've found, and maybe you'll like them too. The first one is Taylor in Nevada. She does the Wool Needles Hands podcast. She is the one that did that cool big chunky cowl that I mentioned earlier. She is also the dyer behind Fiber for the People. And I tried to go back in my Instagram comments and find it, but I commented on something, the yarn is really cool. And a person who watches my podcast, thank you whoever you are, I'm so sorry, I tried to dig and I couldn't find it, but she said that she also did a podcast. So I went and checked out her podcast. It's awesome. Another new one is Pin Feathers and Pearls, Candace and Yoshi, and they are in Alberta. Candace is the human, Yoshi is her co-host, which just also happens to be her Quaker parrot. And I love that so much. If I had a parrot, he would be my co-host as well. 10,000 Stitches. Andy in Virginia. You guys, she is a freaking physicist. Astrophysicist. That joke is probably going to be lost on many of you, but I'll link. If you are R-rated or above, I'll link the movie that's from. It's called Girls Will Be Girls, and it's an inside joke between my bestie and I. She is great. She does her whole podcast and talks about all of her knitterly things. And then at the end, she chats a little about not knitterly things. In her not knitterly things, she talks about teaching. She's a teacher, certain level classes. She was excited because she got a lecture class on her next schedule. So she's, talking about that. I just feel smarter listening to her. She says things like non-inertial reference frames. What? Non-inertial reference frames. No idea what that is. Here's the thing. I said I love Big Bang Theory. I am basically Penny, but in Amy's body. That's as close as I can come. So even though I have absolutely zero clue what a non-inertial reference frame is, I feel smart just because I can say it. She's also knitting these octopus mitts. They're like octopi mitts or something. I'll link it somewhere too. But she's knitting them. I want to knit them. They're super cute. She's only like this far, but you can see like one little octopus in it. So cute. She also mentioned a really cool video she found for grabbing your floats by the Sockmatician. I want to say his name's Josh, but I could totally be wrong on that. Again, I'll link it. But I totally want to check that out because she said, I don't know if you guys have ever done Fair Isle or stranded knitting. Every once in a while when you pull it apart, you can see the float carried through. And I guess this way that this little trick he has, you can't see that. So I'm super excited to learn that new technique. I favorited it.
I favorited it.
I put it in my favorites on YouTube so that I can find it later. The next time I do some stranded knitting. Maybe it'll be the octopi mitts. I think it's the octopi mitts. Meanwhile, at the castle is Deborah and Emily. I believe they are sisters who live in Utah. They're super fun. Deborah is, I believe, in the humble beginnings of what she called a fusion blanket. It is amazing. It is quilted squares that instead of binding the edges, she does a crocheted border and then she attaches those. It is going to be awesome. She showed one panel of 4 squares that she has finished put together. It looks really cool. Creative Obsession is Carrie. She's near Portland. She scored brownie points with me immediately. Somewhere in her world is a pug named Vladimir, which I love. And then as she was talking, she's friends with Michelle and Leslie from the Naughty Knitwits, who I want to be friends with in real life. She is also a dyer and maker of things and has an Etsy, so I will link her if you want to go check her shop out. The last podcast I'm going to mention is Dye Another Day, Dye like D-Y-E, Another Day. They are friends, Amanda and Christina. They live in Canada, and they are both dyers. Amanda is the yarn enabler and Christina is the cozy knitter. Again, I will link everybody that I mentioned in the show notes. I'm super excited to get to know these new podcasters. It's gonna be fun just to learn about them and see their things. They are extremely talented. That kind of spurs me on to be a maker. Yeah, is that what I am? Am I a maker? I'm a maker of things. I can't be a dyer of things. I tried that once. Didn't go well. High five to all you dyers. That takes some knowledge in the noggin. Dyeing does. Yes, that's what that does. Show and tell. This week's show and tell is apparently covered in dog hair. It is my Multnomah shawl. I'm sure you guys have seen this. I made this a very long time ago. Couldn't even tell you when. I love it. I get a lot of use out of it. I get a lot of compliments on it. It is very outside of my color spectrum. I am not a red person, but I wear this all the time. I was a new-ish knitter when I knit this. So in the lace edging, I did have to fight it. I remember not being happy with this. Not happy as I am with my Oracle shawl currently, but I do remember not being happy with this. Michelle Burback is a member of the group. She answered last episode's question, and that was what tools do you have in your knitting arsenal or your fiber arsenal that you wish you could use more? And she had mentioned her felting needles. I have 1, One lonely little felting needle. When she mentioned it, that's what made me think that I would show my Multnomah for show and tell, because this yarn broke. It had many breaks, but it didn't break until at pug hair. Pug, anybody know pug? That's what you get with pug. Sorry. Katie from number 23, if any of y'all watch her. Rolly is so cute. Another fellow podcaster with a pug. You guys, they're everywhere. So I called and I was mad because as I was winding the skein, how come sometimes it focuses and sometimes it doesn't? As I was winding the skein, so these things are all over. I needle felted it. So what had happened, according to the dyer, when I called her and told her that this happened, or emailed her that this happened and that I was really upset about it, she apologized profusely, said she had just purchased the business from someone else and that dyer had been having these issues. She thought it was something to do with the acid that she was using. It was way later that I noticed this happening. This was all one skein when I purchased it. It was huge. It was like this yarn baby huge thing. When I was winding it, I think I got like 6 different balls because of all the breaks. Many years later and blockings later, that's when this happened. All these breaks happened and I had to become ingenuitive.
Is that the word?
I had to use my noggin and come up with a fix, and that's what I did. I needle felted the breaks. And you know what? Unless I pointed that out to you, or if another knitter maybe was looking closely at it, I don't think anybody would notice. You can't really tell if it's on. And at this point, it's a design feature. So that's my show and tell for this week. That is also the conclusion of the podcast. If you've stuck around, awesome. Be sure and thumbs up, subscribe, ask me any questions that you want, check out the Rav group, all that happy horse shit. And until next time, peace out.